This is the matter of TP, case number 23-50813NA. Present in the virtual courtroom, we have Kristen Newhouse on behalf of the mother. We have Ms. Lowry on behalf of father. We have Father Jacob Wu. We have the child's attorney, Mr. Simpkins, various agency workers, and the CASA, Ms. Greer, as well as the foster parent, Ms. Wu.
Ms. Rinaldi, do you work for Bethany Christian Services?
Yes.
And are you the foster care case manager on this case?
Yes.
How long have you worked in that capacity?
I've been on this case since February of 2024.
Okay. And you've prepared and or submitted numerous exhibits for today's hearing, correct?
Correct.
Your Honor, I have 5 proposed exhibits that I can run through all at once, if that pleases the court.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. Proposed exhibit 1 is a case service plan, updated service plan, and attached treatment plan that is dated October 28, 2025. Proposed exhibit 2 is a court addendum dated December 17, 2025. Proposed exhibit 3 is a Lighthouse Autism Center documentation of communication with Mr. Wu. Proposed exhibit 4 is a Lighthouse Autism Center discharge report. And proposed exhibit 5 is the CASA report dated December 31, 2025.
Any objection?
No objection.
No, Your Honor.
All right, they're admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Rinaldi, let's start with TP. How is he doing?
TP is doing well. He is up to date on his medical and dentals. As of November 14th, he is also fully at Georgetown and appears to be adjusting to that. However, that was pretty close to the holidays. So we'll continue to see adjustment throughout the start of this semester.
That's Georgetown Elementary, correct?
Correct. And that just
Okay.
means he's no longer at ABA throughout the week.
Regarding ABA, that was discontinued because he had met all of his goals, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Is he in counseling right now with Mr. Rika?
Yes.
How is that going?
That appears to be going well. Their relationship appears to be well. And I know TP does ask for Mr. Rika every so often on non-therapy days. And it looks like he is improving in those goals and learning new coping skills.
Okay. TP is still with his grandmother, Ms. Wu, correct? Ms.
Correct.
Helen Wu?
Correct.
Okay. That's always gone very well. Has anything changed in this last report period?
No, nothing has changed during this last report period on how well he's been doing in the home.
Okay. We're going to kind of transition at this point to his father, Mr. Wu, but is he having visitations with Mr. Wu?
Correct. Yes.
Can I just interrupt just a second? I had a note at our last hearing that he was having incidents of bedwetting. Is that continuing?
He does still wet himself. I've had multiple discussions with Miss Wu regarding this as I'm trying to ascertain if there's a pattern or not. It appears there is no pattern to when TP wets himself. There's also some confusion on, is he just not fully going to the bathroom during the school day? Is he just not fully cleaning himself fully before he puts his pants on? So there's just some inconsistencies on why he's wetting himself.
Thank you. Mr. Simpkins, sorry about that. I just didn't want to skip over that.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. My understanding is that Mr. Wu attends pretty much all of the visits, correct?
Correct.
All right. Can you describe the visits and how do they go?
They appear to be going well. Mr. Wu will bring some pancake mix to make that. He'll also sometimes bring some meals to make with TP. Oftentimes there's playing going on or watching movies. I know also Mr. Wu will go outside if it's an unsupervised family time day and play outside. If it's one of those supervised community outings, Mr. Wu will go to the museum or go out to eat, go to the mall, and generally that is how those go.
Yeah. I read somewhere in one of the reports that he tends to bring the same meal of pancakes every time. Is that a concern?
That was a concern, and that was something that I had addressed with Mr. Wu. I had discussed with him just the option of bringing more protein-filled meals or even utilizing our meals that we have here for family times. Mr. Wu has been bringing more protein-filled meals, although I have had to also discuss with him again regarding the situation as the PTS worker noted some stress and some strain when it came to eating. And so that was discussed during an FTM in December.
Yeah, can you elaborate a little bit about that? I had it highlighted. I can't find it right now, but there was some issues with some of the parenting times, correct? With threats of timeout or loss of activities, things like that.
Correct. It appears that TP would want to go play rather than sit down and eat. And so Mr. Wu would threaten timeouts or loss of privileges if he didn't fully eat. And the PTS worker noted that there just was some stress when it came to that, and that there was a lot of pressure to make sure that TP ate all of his meal. And it was noted that for that age, it is age appropriate for him to be getting up every so often. But this was discussed during that FTM in December, and I was able to also get Miss Wu's perspective on how she does it at home and how does she go about mealtime at home, so that Mr. Wu can also complete that while he is here at the family time.
Well, I met with TP yesterday after his visit, and I know he had pancakes again last night. Does Mr. Wu ever bring anything other than pancakes?
He has brought some spaghetti, as well as I know here he has also utilized some of the mac and cheese and some of the fruit cups.
Okay. TP is in counseling with Mr. Rika, as we discussed, and that's beneficial to TP, correct?
Correct.
All right. It's been asked of Mr. Wu to attend those counselings or at least reach out to Mr. Rika, correct?
Correct.
As of your report, it appears to me that he's never done that. Is that still accurate?
I did check back in with Mr. Wu regarding that, and he reported to me this week that he has a phone call with Mr. Rika today at noon.
Who
But
reported
no
that
other
to you?
communication. Sorry.
Mr. Wu reported that to you?
Yes.
Okay. But he's been expected to do that for several months now, correct?
Correct. Since about July of last year.
Okay, so here we are today of the permanency planning hearing, and now he's gonna reach out to Mr. Rika. That's your understanding?
From my understanding, he had some communication. He attempted to email Mr. Rika. He did provide proof of that. However, there still was no consistent attempts to communicate with Mr. Rika. So it's very not consistent in trying to attempt to communicate with him.
Okay. And explain the importance of all of that with respect to a goal of reunification.
Mr. Wu, when communicating with Mr. Rika, would learn about not everything that the TP is saying during therapy, but would learn about the coping skills and what TP is learning in those therapy sessions. He would also understand what behaviors are coming about, what he can do for those behaviors, and it's also would be beneficial for him to sit in on those last couple minutes of some therapy sessions. Mr. Rika says that would help Mr. Wu learn some parenting regarding TP. It would also work towards potentially family therapy, as that has also been discussed in the past, and build on that relationship with TP and Mr. Wu.
Would it also help Mr. Wu understand the trauma that TP has endured?
Correct.
And how to help work through that?
Correct.
Okay. With respect to Mr. Wu's counseling for himself, he was expected to contact Cherry Health at some point, correct?
Correct.
My understanding is that he did not contact Cherry Health for a very long time, but then he finally did and was going to have a virtual appointment on December 15th. Did that happen?
So he was supposed to have a start date of the 4th of November, yet was not given a link or called about it. And then I did talk to him and checked in with him on the 2nd of December. And then he was informed me that he went down to Cherry Health on the 10th of December for an intake appointment. And then scheduled an intake appointment, for the 15th of December. However, he did not complete that 15th of December due to not getting a link. And Mr. Wu did note to me earlier that he never got that link because Cherry Health never had his email on file.
Or would
So
it be his responsibility to give Cherry Health that information?
say that one more time, excuse me.
Would it be his responsibility to give Cherry Health that information?
Correct.
Okay. And he's had, again, a couple of months now to get this done, correct?
Correct. I do want to note, although it is this week, he did note to me that he has an appointment on Thursday at 9:50 for counseling.
Okay. But he also had one on December 15th, correct?
Correct.
What is the importance here? Your report indicates that that he feels better and doesn't really think he needs counseling, but why does your agency believe that that's important for reunification in this case?
It goes back to the reason of removal. Mr. TP was removed due to physical abuse and the anger that came about for that. And the agency would like to make sure that Mr. Wu is able to process through any past trauma he has, as well as work through his anger management and learn coping skills so that the physical abuse does not occur again. Mr. Wu has noted to me that he feels like he is a lot better and that he doesn't need it, but he also understands the expectations. I've also had concerns brought up to me about him potentially being depressed due to his personal hygiene. But he also, again, notes that he is taking care of himself and he is not depressed.
Have you had any contact yourself in person with Mr. Wu?
Yes, in person, yes.
Okay, did you have concerns about his hygiene, about not being bathed or washed or anything like that?
Very slightly, but it sounds like the other people that I'm hearing it from have a more visceral reaction. And it also sounds like Mr. Wu has difficulty with getting his laundry completed just because the laundromat is further away and he doesn't have the ability to get there fully with all his clothes.
Is he still living at the motel?
Yes.
Okay. Is he still working at Little Caesars?
Yes.
All right. I know there was talk about him being promoted to management. Did that ever happen?
He reported to me that he would be starting manager training at the beginning of January. I did ask for verification just to see if there was any type of contract that he could sign and provide to me. He did note that for manager training, he gets a packet and that could be served as verification. But I do need to check in with him to make sure that that has started at the beginning of this month.
So at this point, you don't have any verification, correct?
Correct.
It's also reported that he was going to start classes in the spring. Has he registered for that yet?
As of the 22nd of or the 23rd of December, at the end of December, I had spoken to him and he still had not registered for classes. He still intends to, so I would need to check in and see if that's still his plan, and if he has scheduled an appointment for that.
So he's not in counseling either for himself or with TP, correct?
Correct.
Is he working any services that your agency has recommended or asked him to do?
He is still working with a PTS worker. Other than what I've discussed, I've also referred him to a parenting class that started this week. However, Mr. Wu noted difficulty getting on to that parenting class, and so he will have to try again next week for that. So not at this time.
How long have you been asking him to take a parenting class?
This parenting class I referred him to like a month ago. So that finding the parenting class was more of the agency's job, and him working with the PTS worker was on him. So that parenting class was referred recently and started recently.
Where he lives at that motel, would that be an appropriate place for TP to reside?
No.
Okay. So other than attending visits, which is good, and working, which is good, has he made any progress whatsoever on his treatment plan?
Not at this time. I can say Mr. Wu has been has attempted to attend ABA meetings. It has attended a couple of them, as well as attended parent-teacher conference. However, the consistency and maintaining of being involved in TP's services is not present.
Okay. Well, he's been attempting to do things and saying he's going to do things for quite a long time now, correct?
Correct.
And he's been, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he's been out of jail for about 10 months. Is that accurate?
That is accurate. I believe he was released in March of last year, so about 10 months.
Okay. Have you seen enough progress to warrant continuation of the goal of reunification in this case?
No, I have not.
Okay. Are you recommending a goal change at this point to termination or adoption?
Yes.
Okay. Are you recommending that TP be returned home today?
No.
Okay. In his current placement with the paternal grandmother, Ms. Helen Wu, is he receiving adequate care, physical activities, educational opportunities, and things of that nature?
Yes.
And again, this is, he's been placed with her for years now at this point, correct?
Correct. About two years, might be between 2 and 3 years.
Again, if my math is correct, I believe this coming April will be the 3-year mark that this case has been going on, correct?
Correct.
All right, so your recommendation is a goal change today, correct?
Correct.
All right, thank you. I have nothing further, Your Honor. Well, I do, sorry. Ms. Pennock, she's still not participating per her request, correct?
Correct.
Okay, my understanding is that she still has phone calls that Ms. Wu supervises and allows, and those go well. Is that accurate?
Correct.
I've also been told that while Mr. Wu does go to his scheduled agency parenting times, he doesn't make phone calls to TP. Do you know if that's accurate or not?
Ms. Wu has noted that there has been no phone calls to TP from Mr. Wu. That is accurate.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Your Honor. I have nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Newhouse.
No questions, thank you.
Right, Ms. Lowry.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm going to have some questions. I know it's 11 o'clock. Is that? do you
We'll
want me
just
to
we'll
get
we'll
through what
go.
I can?
We'll try to get through it.
Okay. All right. I have an 11:32. All right.
Your Honor,
I have an 11 o'clock, but
Yeah.
as do I.
it's like I said, if we can make it brief and to the point, that would be great.
Great, thank you.
All right. So Mr. Wu was able to obtain a Section 8 voucher. Is that correct?
Correct.
So he has been making efforts. He has been trying to obtain better housing. He's had stable housing now, but at the Motel 6, but he has been making efforts towards obtaining housing for himself and TP.
Correct.
And so with the Section 8 voucher, he will need a rather large down payment. Is that correct? But then they would cover the majority of his payments.
Correct. The subsidy would take over 70% of his rent, and then he would be in charge of 30%.
All right. So he would be able to afford that, but the lump sum is what's holding him up from being able to find housing at this time. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is the agency able to help with down payments if a house is identified and a plan has been made to provide for housing and there is employment?
From my knowledge, the agency is not able to help with the down payment. However, I have provided Salvation Army as well as calling directly to 211 to find places that do help with down deposits. I would need to verify if there are any grants or any other funding that I can find for that through the agency, but the agency itself cannot assist with the deposit.
All right. But efforts have been made, a lot of efforts to obtain that voucher and to get housing.
Correct.
All right. Mr. Wu's understanding is that he would need at least a 1-bedroom and would not be able to get a studio. Is that accurate? I don't understand why he would not be able to get a studio.
I'm not quite sure what that's in regard to. As long as the house has a 1-bedroom, should be fine. Studio, I would need to double check on what the standards are for that. But as long as there is room for both of them and there's space for both of them, I don't see any issues, but I would need to double check on our policy regarding bedroom situations.
Okay, can you double check and confirm with him? Because obviously studios are not as expensive as a 1 bedroom would be, but right, there wouldn't technically be. And let him know so that he can make sure he's looking for the right places.
Correct, I will.
All right. Um, he's participating in budgets. He's moved to unsupervised parenting time. Is that correct?
Correct, he has unsupervised once a week.
So he has made progress. We are moving forward. He has one unsupervised at the agency and one that's supervised with the parenting time specialist, correct?
Correct.
And that's essentially because they're there to kind of assist if there's been any needs. Outside of the desire to have different foods offered at meals, there have not been any concerns noted by the parenting time specialist in regards to his parenting skills or the parenting times with TP. Is that correct?
There has been discussion about Mr. Wu's consequences for the behavior and just kind of talking through what his responses are to behaviors, such as when TP hits somebody else in the back of the head or things like that, and what their correct response is, and making sure that the consequence is equal to the behavior. That is something that the PTS worker has brought up and is working with Mr. Wu on.
But there's not been any concerns for TP or any anger that's been seen. They're bonded and is that correct?
Correct.
All right. So these are just refining parenting skills, which everybody might need a refresher course in, that they're working on with him as far as discipline.
Correct.
All right. The counseling that he was supposed to start, he did provide them with their email, but they did not put that into his profile. Is that correct?
I am not sure on what he provided. I was only informed by Mr. Wu that there was no email on file, and that was why he did not get a link. I'm not sure what during that intake Mr. Wu provided in information.
Okay. Do you have a release? Are you able to follow up and ensure that that's correct, that it was not his fault that he didn't get the link and didn't have the email put in?
I can follow up.
All right. But nonetheless, he's starting the individual counseling this week.
Correct.
As far as the counseling sessions with Mr. Rika and attending other things, these aren't appointments that are made around Mr. Wu's work schedule, are they? They're just standing appointments that work for Miss Wu and TP. Is that correct?
The therapy is Thursdays, and that is on Miss Wu's and TP's schedule. However, the calling of Mr. Rika and getting a hold of Mr. Rika is on Mr. Wu's time.
I understand that, but as far as him starting to attend sessions, are those going to be built in around his schedule, or are you just asking him to attend sessions that he has no input on when they're being scheduled?
I can inform Mr. Rika and talk to Mr. Rika about the schedule and see what can be done to make sure that it is around Mr. Wu's schedule. They are Thursdays at 11, and I do know Mr. Wu's schedule for work is in the evenings. So from my understanding, Mr. Wu would be able to attend those.
Okay. All right. And he's connected with him on the phone, and they're going to at least have a phone call today, it sounds like.
Correct.
But there has been participation at other things such as school conference, Halloween, ABA meetings, and so forth.
Correct.
The counseling is kind of seems to be the holdup here, but have you had any experiences with Mr. Wu being anything but understanding and communicative with you? Any concerns with anger or anything like that?
Mr. Wu has not been aggressive or angry towards me. No, I have not seen that in my personal interactions with him.
All right. He's respectful of everybody. I mean, he's served a year in jail, completed several courses while incarcerated, and since then has been able to obtain at least stable housing for himself. He's not bouncing around, a stable job, the same job, and continues to, take one step at a time towards a bigger, I guess, a bigger bout of stability. Would you agree with that?
Correct.
So is the counseling just something to check off on the list, or is there something, a change in Mr. Wu that you need to see based on the behavior that you've seen over the last 10 months?
I do want to make sure that Mr. Wu does learn coping skills, and when he does get angry or upset on what TP is doing, that he knows how to handle that. I have not personally seen or been told of any times where Mr. Wu gets out of control anger, but the reason for removal was the anger that caused the physical abuse. And I do want to make sure Mr. Wu receives some type of counseling to learn appropriate coping skills so TP does not end up back in foster care.
Okay, but that incident was several years ago and completely different circumstances in his life. Would you agree?
Correct.
All right, but you haven't seen anything since then, since he's been out, which has given you cause for concern.
Not at this time, no.
I mean, individual counseling would be helpful for everybody on different levels, but this is something that's being held up as a holdup for him in making progress in his treatment plan.
Correct.
All right. I mean, the concerns about personal hygiene is this personal preference? I guess I'm just, that's just something that came up. You have not had any concerns about that.
I have not had concerns. It just came up. It was something that I wanted to make sure I addressed with Mr. Wu in case there was any concerns he had or anything he was concerned about, and just address it with him.
All right. And Mr. Wu meets with you regularly. You guys complete budgets. He's providing you with any documentation that you're asking for.
Correct.
Is the parenting time specialist, is it any specific length of time, or is that just an ongoing service?
That's an ongoing service. If at any point in time Mr. Wu completes the goals, or there just doesn't seem to be a need anymore for PTS, that would be discharged.
All right, sorry. Last question. If Mr. Wu engages in the individual counseling over the next 3 months and is able to save up for a down payment, since he has the voucher, he would then have housing for himself and TP and have at least completed some individual sessions. Would that be enough for the agency to look at a return home at that time?
At that time, Mr. Wu would also need to engage in with Mr. Rika during those 3 months.
Okay.
As well. So coupled with the counseling and engaging with Mr. Rika, and completing those other tasks and being consistent throughout those 3 months, we would look at a different goal or look at a different change, but he would need to be consistent throughout those 3 months.
Okay. And then as far as the phone calls, so it sounds like TP is in school all day now at one school and Mr. Wu is working the later shift. Is that correct?
Correct.
So he would have to take a break or something from work in order to call TP after school hours.
Correct.
And has that been specifically asked of him to do?
It has not. It was just brought up that Ms. Pancake does take phone calls. I know also in the past, Mr. Wu has talked about phoning TP and then not phoned him. So there's just been discussions around phone calls regarding Mr. Wu. Yeah.
All right. Can you make it clear to him what the expectations are for him for phone calls, or if he's even allowed? Maybe he's not sure if he's allowed to do that.
Conversations regarding if he's allowed have been had with him. He is aware that he is allowed to have phone calls.
Okay. All right. Okay. I guess I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Statement, Mr. Simpkins.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, at the last court hearing, I believe, according to my notes and my memory, the court indicated that it was time for Mr. Wu to take care of things on time and now. And the time was pretty much up. And we've had another 3-month report period where nothing's happened. He's had plenty of opportunities to engage with Cherry Health, to engage with Mr. Rika. If all I hear are excuses, well, I didn't get a link, I didn't get this, I didn't get that, no one called me. If it's me, I'm banging down their door saying, hey, I need to get this started. What can we do? Let's go. Not just, well, I didn't get this, I didn't get that. This case is nearly 3 years old. That's 3 years of TP not having permanency in his life. Luckily for everybody, he's with his paternal grandmother, who, if it ever gets to that point of adoption, who would absolutely let Mr. Wu see TP as long as he's doing well. But there are concerns that he's not doing well, that he's not showering, he's not taking care of himself. And you combine that with no counseling, with no engagement with Theo's counselor, with no improvement on his housing situation. My understanding is that he's only working part-time, so there should be plenty of opportunity to get all these things done. He uses school as an excuse as to why he can't do certain things when he's not enrolled yet. There is no progress being made at this point, Your Honor. This case is so incredibly old that it is just time. And I don't want to gloss over the fact that, oh, well, this happened 2 years ago and he doesn't need counseling anymore. I don't like that argument, because I've seen the video of what happened, and that's why he got a year in jail, and that was probably light. So I'm glad that he's doing better, and I'm glad that he's going to all his visits. I honestly am. I encourage him to continue, but time is up, Your Honor. This young man, this boy needs permanency. He's nearly 5 years old. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm going to ask for Ms. Newhouse's statement next, so she can leave for her next hearing if she wishes.
Oh, they've already made mine into a file review. So,
Oh, sorry.
so thank you. I don't have a statement or position. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Lowry.
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, on behalf of Mr. Wu, we obviously don't agree with the recommendations to change the goal towards adoption, and would ask for continued reunification. I see things very differently. I see Mr. Wu continuing to make progress, build. We have to remember he literally started from nothing out of jail, where he completed every service that was available to him, and has been able to stay in the same housing, keep the same job, attend every single parenting time, with not a lot of resources, and that's a decent amount of stability. He has been working. He has obtained a Section 8 voucher. Now that's already a huge first step, but then the second step is finding the housing, and he's working full-time. I don't know why there was an inclination that he's not working full-time. I think he's providing regular pay stubs to the agency, but he has, the counseling. I understand that's a request, but that seems to be really the last thing, and there's been zero evidence presented of any concerns of his emotional stability. He's been nothing but cooperative, respectful with everybody, and in his parenting times, to the extent that now he has unsupervised parenting times. So I do believe we're making progress, and I believe with over the next 3 months, if he's able to get a studio, he might be able to put a down payment together sooner, and there could be housing in place. And he's certainly not saying he's not willing to do counseling. He's willing to do anything, but he's got a lot of things on his plate, and it's not as easy as hopping in his car and it might be for other people to get things done or check on things. So I see a lot of effort on his part, and I especially see him prioritizing his time with his son. And so I would ask that the court continue the goal of reunification and see where we're at in 90 days.
Thank you. The court finds that the lawyer guardian ad litem has complied with the requirements of the statute, that returning this child to a parent today would cause a substantial risk of harm to the child's life, physical health, or mental well-being, that the child should not be returned to a parent today, that this child has been in foster care for 15 of the most recent 22 months, as others have indicated, it's almost 3 years, and the agency should initiate proceedings to terminate parental rights to this child, that reasonable efforts have been made to preserve, reunify the family, make it possible for this child to safely return home. Reasonable efforts for reunification should be continued in accordance with the statute. Progress towards alleviating or mitigating the conditions that caused this child to be placed or remain in temporary foster care has not been made by either parent, at least not to the extent that this child could be returned home today. That the child's continued placement is necessary and appropriate, is meeting this child's needs, that the child's needs can be met in a foster family home, that reasonable efforts have been made to finalize the the court-approved permanency plan of return to a parent, that permanency planning goal is no longer appropriate and shall be adoption. That the department foster home or institutional placement has made or has followed the reasonable and prudent parenting standard, and the child has had regular opportunities to engage in age or developmentally appropriate activities. The court orders that this child continue in the protective and temporary custody of the court, continue placement with the Department for Care and Supervision, that the adjudicated respondents, Ms. Pennick and Mr. Wu, comply with and benefit from the case service plan. Parents to sign all necessary releases. That parenting time of Ms. Pennick is to be supervised until further order of the court. Parenting time of Mr. Wu is at the discretion of the agency. I will continue the attorneys in this matter. Also that the department shall initiate proceedings to terminate parental rights to this child no later than 28 days from the date of this hearing. That does not mean that rights will be terminated. If there's significant progress between now and our next hearing date, then certainly the court can look at a different result or a different resolution. But at this point, the court is very concerned about the lack of counseling, individual counseling for Mr. Wu, especially due to what caused this child to come into care in the first place, and is particularly concerned about the lack of involvement by Mr. Wu with this child's therapist, given this child's special needs. So those are really priorities. And Ms. Gibson, do we have a date for this termination hearing?
Yes, Your Honor. March 31st from 2 to 5 p.m. And that would be in person, I assume?
Yes. Any conflicts with that date or time?
Yes, I do mental commitment hearings that afternoon, 1:30 to 5.
Okay, can we find another date?
Certainly. Can we do Monday afternoon, March 30th?
That works for me.
Yes, I can do that.
That works.
2 to 5?
Thank you.
2 to 5?
Yes.
Okay.
In person here at the courthouse.
Got it.
All right, thank you. We're adjourned.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you, Your Honor.